Good morning, guys. How's it going? Good morning, good morning. Can you guys hear me? Hey, G-Man. Good morning, Shez, Miguez. What's up, guys? So I did something a little bit different on my charts this morning since we're at all-time highs, kind of up in the middle of nowhere and not really close to any support levels. I mean, we're coming down to like point of control and value area and stuff now, but while we were up here, I actually did take a short off of this point of control and targeted the previous day high. I drew up a fixed range volume profile from the session open on Sunday night, and you were able to see that this was a solid point of control. And once we broke below that, we were holding below VWAP and point of control, took that short, targeted previous day high. So I'm going to keep that on there and see if it gives us some levels for the open. But yeah, interesting day. Last time I checked, last night, we don't have any news today unless something popped up on Financial Juice that I didn't see. But basically just trade talks, tariff talks. So it could be an interesting day. Could be just waiting for Trump to announce something. So in my opinion, I'll probably be sizing down today. There's a tentative trade talk this afternoon. Other than that, no news. Later this week though, like every day this week is heavy with news. Big stuff coming up for the rest of the week. Yeah, Travis, I'm thinking possible gap fill too. With the market open though, I mean, the New York open or New York market hasn't necessarily responded to the tariff news yet. So, I mean, I don't really know. I don't claim to predict how the market reacts to news. But I could see us possibly coming up to liquidate some of these shorts, maybe coming up to that point of control VWAP area before coming back down to fill the gap. Which, interestingly, the gap fill at 448 is also yesterday's point of control. So I could see that being a possibility. I'm not going to be super quick to jump into a short. But the reverse is true as well. If it comes down and fills that gap real quick, which is also point of control, we could take a long from there. So those are the two scenarios that I'm kind of looking for. Point of control, reject, or down to this point of control and up. I know G-Man said he took some gold trades last night. Anyone else take any trades? Or are you guys flat so far? Oh, nice. Travis, that's about where I got into once I saw that it was rejecting, got out of this little consolidation zone. Let me move this out of the way. This chop right here, I was rejecting VWAP and kind of created this point of control. Once it started to break below that and didn't have a good bounce off of Asia low and rejected, that's about where I got into. at about 526 and then held it down to previous day high. Are you still in yours, Travis, or did you get out? I wonder if you're holding for that gap fill. Gonna ride it all the way down, huh? Okay, you got out. Cool. Good morning from Pismo Beach, California. That's where I'm originally from. Not Pismo Beach, but grew up in Southern California. My parents had a timeshare in Pismo Beach for a little while, so we visited that area a couple times. Looking for a long from 448. Yeah, it's definitely a high volume area. I'd like to wait and see how price reacts at that level before immediately entering along. But I do like that level. Coming on down. G-Man, you think it'll retrace to the midnight price? So you think it'll be that scenario where it comes up and then back down to fill the gap? Yeah, I could see it going either way. Honestly, I am not planning on taking a trade within the first couple minutes of the open because I think it'll be pretty volatile. I could see either one of those scenarios I laid out happening, and I kind of think it'll happen quick, so I don't want to get caught up in it. Have I heard the term gap and crap? Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm not like wanting to immediately take a long off of this gap fill. I wouldn't take a long just because it fills the gap, but it is point of control. There was quite a bit of volume on Friday's session there. So if it's going to be an up day, that would be a good level. But I would be patient and wait to see how it reacts there first. Looking at that higher time frame though, kind of like I was saying, I think it was Friday, I was talking about how I feel like it's kind of just hanging off a ledge. It needs to come back down and find some support. I could see this level at like 23,400-ish being a good level if it wants to come down further. We'll see though. That's a big old gap right there. Walking the plank. That's a good way to put it, Min. I don't know if you were on the stream Friday when it just kept going up and up. I was like, this thing is about to fall off the edge of a cliff. It just felt like it was like just hanging out there in the middle of nowhere, and it needs to come back down and establish a foundation. I shouldn't say needs. I shouldn't use that word. Price can do whatever the heck it wants, but I feel like it's kind of being fake propped up right now. All right, market is about to open, you guys. Let's see what we get. Dang, man, that's a low target. That's possible. We have a ton of like news coming up later this week where it could be causing some uncertainty in the markets. People just wanting to take profits before all the Fed decisions and, you know, all that stuff going on. All right, so far this opening candle is pumping. Wonder if it's going to come back up to that 540 level before crashing back down. Quite a bit of uncertainty in this first candle right here. Lots of chopping around. Good morning, Paul. How's it going? Interesting open. That first 1 minute candle just broke out. Like if you move to the 1 minute chart, made it look like it was going to the moon. But that got shot back down pretty quick. Yeah, I agree, Shazmiguez. I don't know though. No news Monday. No news Monday a lot of times in the past has been choppy. And with so much going on later this week. This doesn't look like it wants to pump to the moon right now. I'm leaning towards shorts today, but I was expecting it to maybe come back up to like 540-ish and then dump. I don't know though. Buyers don't seem to have some momentum this morning. That first 5-minute candle did end up closing pretty strong. It was choppy for the first couple minutes though. Alright, starting to get some movement up. Lots of price action here at this 540 level. So if we break and hold above 540, we're going to all-time highs. It's just going to be an up-only day. But I could see that being a pretty big area of resistance there. Let's see what we get. Price is already wanting to put me to sleep, you guys. What's going on this morning? Where's everyone at? Good morning, Kadir. How's it going? Good morning, Dee. Good to see you. Hello, Sasmit. Alright, Sasmit, what's your game plan today? You gonna sit on your hands for the first couple minutes? Take it slow. Let's wait for the right setup. So far, it's pretty choppy. Bounced off that value area high from yesterday, or Friday, I guess, not yesterday. But this is not a convincing bounce. Kind of leaning towards shorts, but I'd rather wait until we potentially get up higher, 540-ish. I just realized I turned off my VWAP. Let's see if we come back up to VWAP and then reject. $524, $525 to $540-ish. That's kind of the level I'm looking for a possible short from. That's VWAP and then point of control from the overnight session. This is looking pretty weak, you guys. Definitely not the kind of open I would have expected if we were going to be hitting new all-time highs. So my thoughts on shorts is starting to look a little more valid. It's just a matter of where do we take a short from? Yeah, so choppy. Agreed. Like I was saying earlier, I'd set up this volume profile from the start, the open from Sunday night. So we do have a decent high volume node right here that it's rejecting. I feel like the better one would be to come up here to 540 though. But man, this is looking super weak. Let's see if it comes down to this 446 level from here. That would be the gap fill and Friday's point of control. Kind of looks like it wants to head down there. Slowing. Days like today, it's definitely good to zoom out to the 5-minute chart and not watch every 1-minute candle. Our opening range so far is small. Yeah, Sasmet, no news Monday. And then probably, I'm guessing, lots of uncertainty since people are waiting for all this stuff happening later this week. So if we do have low volume, like low participation in the market, plus the potential of tariff deals and tweets from Trump and all that going on, this could be a choppy, like wiki kind of day. The kind of day where they just blow your accounts. A 43-point range so far, almost 15 minutes in the open. This is small. Oh man. Still leaning towards shorts. I don't like it from this level though. I was hoping it would come up a little bit higher. The kind of day where you might get your character tested. I refuse to fail today. Love it. Just remind yourself to be patient. Set some sort of rule for yourself where, like, if you feel like you're about to click that button and you're about to enter a trade, make yourself pause for like 5 seconds or 10 seconds and double check. Am I entering because I'm following my rules and this is a good setup, or am I entering because I'm bored or FOMO or something like that? That helps me a lot, just forcing myself to pause. All right, starting to move its way back up. Let's see if it breaks out of this range to the upside. We do have decent little shelf right here that it's breaking out of. Come on up to 540 and then reject. All right, it's breaking out of that 15-minute range. There's a pretty open area on this volume profile over here. Now that we're above this high volume node at 505, I could definitely see us coming up to like 535 at least. It's just a matter of if we get a rejection from there or if we keep going. Getting a little breakout, retest, and going higher. Or it could just be going down from here. We are sitting at VWAP. Oh no, David. That's a recipe for a heart attack right there. Yeah, that's scary when you use the wrong one. All right, so we're sitting right above that 15-minute opening range. But we're also below VWAP. Still choppy. My goodness. Looks like a little fake breakout. Dang. Holy cow. I hope no one took that long. That's why you gotta be careful on those 15-minute opening range breakouts and look at the whole picture. Because that breakout was right below VWAP. Not a good time to long. Interesting buy up, man. There's accounts getting smashed right here. man, you guys. Scalping small caps. This seems so relaxed and easy compared to that. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, this is choppy. I can see where a lot of people probably got faked out on that 15-minute opening range breakout. So the point of control that I had drawn up from the start of the Sunday night session has now moved to where we're at. It was up here. That's still a high volume node though, at like 540-ish. With that big rejection that we just had at VWAP though, I'm not sure if we're gonna go up that high anymore. Unless this is just gonna be choppy and gross and take people's accounts on the way up and down. Oh man. There you go, David. That works. Looks like it wants lower. At least to fill the gap at 448-ish. And there's another crazy wick. What in the world, you guys? They're just going for everyone's stop losses. This is wild. Keeps rejecting VWAP, but with crazy wicks on both sides. All right, we might be heading back up. We had that little fake out, came down, stopped everyone out, and now we're getting some continuation higher. Manipulation at its best, you're right. Let's see if it makes it up to that high volume node at 540-ish that I was talking about earlier. And then we can look. For me, I'd be interested in a possible short from there, depending on how price reacts. This wiki price action makes me nervous. Instead of entering here and having to put my stop loss way low, I think I'd rather wait for it to hit that 540 level. I see I gave into the VWAP bands, yeah. was annoying that I kept having to take them off. Still holding above that opening range high, but stuck below VWAP. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Let's see. This might be a no trade day for me. Oh, I don't like it, you guys. Not one bit. What are you guys thinking? Are we going to break out of this opening range? Or are we going to keep rejecting VWAP? What's it going to be? Longs or shorts? G-Man, you're glad you're done. Seriously, no fair. Well, it is fair, but maybe I'm a little jealous. Yeah, Shez Miguez, you're right. Who knows? No one knows. It's consolidating under that VWAP and holding above the opening range high. So it might break out to that Asia high. Going up. This might be a no trade day. That's the famous last words I used before obliterating my account. It might be a good time to lock out your account. If in your right mind you're saying, probably a no trade day, I'm not seeing anything. Just lock out your account so you don't get bored and come back and try something again. Yeah, it might go for that overnight high, you guys. And then if it doesn't reject there, I guess it's going to be an all-time high kind of day. Travis, I just saw your question about TradeZilla. I was using it for a while. I am not anymore. I actually made my own Google Sheet. So I've been keeping track of it on my own. For one, it saves money. But two, it was a lot to like go in and find the trade that I wanted to log and then tag it and all that stuff, instead of just being able to take a screenshot and add it directly to my spreadsheet. Good afternoon, No Diggity. That's a fun name. Definitely staying strong, not coming back down. So originally I was watching that 540 level, but we would definitely need to see sellers show up for me to be convinced that we're going short. Still pretty choppy though. I mean, it's not like we had momentum on that break past VWAP. It's kind of just stuck here. If we're going higher, it's got a lot to fight through at this 538 level. Coming back down to that opening range high. I'm not seeing anything I love, you guys. Needs to break out of this chop. I like watching volume profiles develop because you can see there's this high volume node right here that we're kind of at the top of at 524, and then the next one develops right here at 535, and there's a little drop off in volume right there. So if it breaks above this level that it's at right here, it's probably going to shoot up to 535. So a quick 10 points right there. We'll see if that happens. It's just fun while it's choppy and going nowhere, just to kind of see what price might do. All right, ES is going higher. Gold is selling off. Couple more reasons that NASDAQ might be going higher. Do a little pot. I like that idea. Have everyone chip in $2. Winner takes all in the duck race. That would be a lot more fun than watching this. Not a bad idea. Or shoot, we don't even have to do a prize. It's just fun to watch the duck races. Sometimes I want to put my name in there just so I can see what costume I get. On Friday, when I did it, we had a Batman and Superman. They were both towards the front for a little bit. I'm going to start a new business, Underground Duck Race, LLC. Oh, Chichamus, you missed the duck race. It's fun. So just instead of like doing a wheel spin or something that's a little less fun, I put everyone's name into a list. It's a duck race website, and everyone's name gets assigned to a duck. And there's this little graphic with like a pond and a starting race line with ducks. And you start the timer, and everyone like, it's a make-believe race, a little race. And whoever wins the duck race wins the giveaway, but it's fun. I think it's funny that you guys assumed it was a Trump duck. All I saw was a business suit duck. Was there something that made it obvious it was Trump? I just saw a suit and a tie. But everyone was calling it the Trump duck. What did I miss? Oh, it was the hair? Gotcha. I missed that. Well, it's kind of breaking up above VWAP, but again, not convincingly. We technically got a 15-minute candle closure above, but there's no momentum behind it. It's not making me believe it. I don't believe we're going to the moon until we pass beyond 540. If we break 540, then I believe we can go up to that Asia high. But I don't know. There's not a whole lot of push behind this. Maybe there's just not going to be momentum today in general. So what I'm looking for in terms of like a consolidation and then a breakout with momentum. Maybe that's just not going to happen today. That's possible. Czar Trader, you've been holding your short for 30 minutes? Yeah. Unless you're scalping today, just looking for a quick 10 points, might be holding all positions for a long time today. Is it finally gonna go? I don't like it, you guys. Still leaning towards shorts. I might enter here and then just give myself room to have it potentially come up to 540. Thinking about it. If you guys haven't already, go hit that like button. Since we got nothing else to do, we're just watching paint dry with this price action. That'll give your fingers a button to push. Yeah, I agree, D. The ATR is not great right now. Which kind of goes along with what I was saying, where if you're not scalping, if you're looking for more than just 10 points or so, you might be sitting in a position for a long time because it's not going anywhere. We do have initial balance in about 16 minutes. So we'll see what we get off of that. Watching the chat, apparently everyone caught that gold short. And I've just been watching NQ chop around and do nothing. Still holding support at VWAP. Let's see what the current session volume profile is looking like. Kind of creating a point of control right where we're at. Well, I wonder if we're going to get any movement at all. Or if this is just going to be what the rest of the day looks like. It's going to put everyone to sleep for a little while. And then there's going to be a giant move and it's going to wipe out everyone's accounts. Is that what the plan is for today? Kind of feels like it. If we get back down to the opening range high, I'm thinking I'm going to take a short. Because we're getting back below VWAP, back below the current session's point of control. Starting to show a little bit of weakness. And it's been testing this area a lot. So might get some continuation lower. Let's see. Ooh, no diggity's trading Bitcoin. I'm adding my Discord link in the chat, you guys. If you haven't joined it already, go on in and join it. So, just kind of sharing my journey with you guys. Still a newbie trader. On my way to hopefully being a lot more consistent. Profitable so far, but just being transparent in the ups and downs of it all. And it'd be nice to have a spot where we can share trades with each other outside of the stream and just kind of stay connected. So join that group if you want. So it came down to the opening range high, but bounced up again. That's kind of the range. 15-minute opening range high and VWAP. Gonna break out of one of those. Ah, you guys, I'm still leaning towards shorts. I'm trying to take a pause and decide if it was just because that was my bias this morning. All right, I entered short, you guys. I got in at 23,506, and I'm targeting this point of control at 446, which is also the gap fill. I'll move my screen over so you can see. Oh, dang. That was a big drop. What the heck? That came down to the opening range low and bounced right back up. I'm going to move my stop loss to break even just because I don't like those wicks. This is wild, you guys. That was a big bounce. That was right at, almost at opening range low. Not quite. I'm coming straight back up. This price action sucks, you guys. 506.25 was where I entered, just so I can add it to my trade log. Got stopped out for $50. So we have this point of control that's starting in this session, starting to kind of gather some steam, some high volume at 509. That's also the opening range high, 15-minute opening range high. So if we get another rejection at this area, I'll consider a short again. But again, this wiki price action, what the heck? Yeah, I agree, Chichmas. Value array high from yesterday, that was also 15-minute opening range high, or low, I mean. If this is gonna be an up day, that's definitely where it needs to hold. That was just a wild wick. It all happened in one minute candle. These are kind of the two spots. VWAP, point of control, and then this 15-minute opening range low. This is the range that we're stuck in. I'm taking another short, you guys. Gonna try that same target, 448. Stop loss up at those range highs. do have our initial balance set here in 4 minutes also. So it might be smarter to wait until a retest of one of the other ends of the range. All right, that crazy wick stopped me out. Did come back up to initial balance high. That's pretty much where it wicked up to. Holding below VWAP. Let's see if we get some continuation lower. Would be nice if we didn't have all these crazy wicks, but I guess you can't get everything you ask for. So this, I can change it to the 60-minute low now that it's pretty much set. That's so weird that it does that. Intuition said that MNQ wicked, but NQ didn't. Let me see. Oh, I don't even have it on here. Yeah, what's the difference? That is weird. They're supposed to be the same, aren't they? Very interesting. Yeah, I saw it on a couple of them. I guess I need to turn into one of the big dogs and just be able to trade NQ. Then you don't have to deal with all the crazy wickiness. We might be getting a failed auction, you guys. All right, it's going lower. I went ahead and entered 508.25 is my entry. I don't like the wicks. That's why I'm hesitant on this. Minus these random wicks on both sides, it looks like it wants to go lower. Holding below VWAP, holding below the session point of control, rejecting initial balance high. Let's see if we can come back down to initial balance low or even that point of control gap fill. By the way, you guys, I posted it in Discord. I haven't said it yet today, but Top One Futures has a 55% off summer sale going on right now, and that includes their instant funded accounts. So it's the cheapest instant funded on the market right now. Cheaper than Tradeify, cheaper than anything else I've seen. So straight to funded, instant funded, whatever you want to call it. But their 50K account is like $216 with the discount. I think it's like $404 for their 150K if you want to do that one. And you can copy trade up to 3 accounts. So, super good deal. Use code Krista if you want. Support the channel, I'd appreciate it. So it's a standard drawdown. The 50K is $2,000 and there's no daily loss limit. Although I would recommend you add some sort of regulation for yourself, but $3,000, no profit target because it's instant funded, $2,000 loss limit. No regulation for yourself. Just go all in. I don't trade the 150K, so let me look. I'll pull it up right now. The max drawdown on the 150 is 4,500. And the payout cap is higher than a lot of other companies too. Like Tradeify, the payout cap is $2,000 for their 50K instant funded. With this one, it's $2,500 is the payout cap for the 50K. The 150K, the cap is $3,500. So with 3 accounts, you can possibly take a $10,500 payout. So go check that out, you guys. Oh man, I don't like that I'm in a short and G-Man's trying a long. That was a big buy up from the bottom of the range, but I don't know. It's looking like it wants lower to me. definitely chopping around that session point of control level. Let's just see if we can get some continuation lower or if it's going to get bought right back up. Looking like another crappy day on NQ. Agreed. Let's see how this trade plays out. Either way, win or lose, I think I should be done after this. I'm starting to feel that like level of annoyedness that you get when price doesn't do what you think it's supposed to do. Which I know, price is never going to do what I think it's going to do, but just starting to feel a little annoyed. What in the world, you guys? Go down. G-Man, I'm curious, what made you go long? Yeah, I see that, Travis. Sitting right at the opening range high. Starting to reclaim that point of control level. It's often rangy and choppy around point of control though, because that's, you know, the established fair value for the session. It's starting to break away from it though. Alright, I'm gonna flip long. The reason I'm doing that is it's breaking away from point of control. breaking outside above the opening range high, and then zooming out to the 15-minute chart, there's lots of wicks on the bottom side. So I'll delete that one because I got out at break even. 514.25 is where I ended up entering long. I just wonder how high it's going to go though. Because we do have this high volume chop area right here at 540 that I feel like it would take some work to get through. And if it does, it could definitely go up to that overnight high. So we'll see if it breaks past 540. Definitely some big wicks on the bottom side of these candles. It's pinching between the two VWAPs, New York VWAP and the overnight VWAP. Not making a decision. This is ugly, you guys. Oh, I don't know why I'm putting myself through this. We should just call it, you guys. There's no continuation either way. Longs and shorts are getting screwed. when it pinches like this, you would think that someone would win the battle of this consolidation, but I don't know. It could just chop around the rest of the day, you guys. Yep, I agree, no diggity. This is a good time to get away from the charts. Have a good one. Bye. No diggity. I'm not signing off yet. I want to see how this plays out. See if it breaks out from either edge of these VWAPs. It's ugly though. Just a minute ago, you could have said it was holding above this opening range high, holding above the point of control. Not anymore. It's not looking as strong. We're going to be using the duck race for trading now. Today's a coin flip, so let's just make it based on the race. I like it. That's funny. Not a bad strategy, honestly. At least it would take the emotion out of it, right? You wouldn't have to blame your losses on your own emotions. You could be like, I followed my system. I followed my rules. It's the duck race's fault. It's not mine. Wasn't there a guy trading with a chicken? What do you mean? People have gotten payouts with fish and chickens? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Alright, guys. This price action sucks. I think I'm gonna call it. The chicken would choose the direction. Oh, so like people actually trade that way? Like they just kind of play a game, a chicken or a fish game, and then choose their trade based on that? That's a real thing? Oh my gosh. That's pretty crazy. I've never even heard of this style of trading. Might be a fun game to play with a paper trading account. Use a magic 8-ball shaker. Yeah. Hey, if you can get your risk to reward decent, then a 50% win rate, which is pretty much what you would get with a coin flip, that's not bad. You just have to make sure you have a better than a 1-to-1 risk to reward, right? You know price action sucks when you're talking about, using a magic 8-ball shaker to take your trades. I'll delete this. I wasn't doing that one. Looks like we're going down, you guys. I just don't know to where. So I'm not interested in getting chopped up in this. Because are we gonna get bought right back up? Or are we gonna continue down to this gap fill? I don't know. I could see us coming down to the gap fill, but all these wicks underneath make it seem like buyers are not gonna easily let it go down there. Yeah, Travis, you would think that's accurate, but then you have human emotion in there and we seem to mess it all up, right? Alright guys, I think what I'm going to do is set some alerts just to see if it gets out of this range. I'm going to set an alert here a little above initial balance high, or initial balance low, excuse me, just because that's kind of where we've been wicking to. And then I'll set another one up here at initial balance high. If we break out of this range, I can either look for continuation or fade the ranges and long or short each end. That's what I'm going to do. But this middle wiki price action, if I don't take any more trades today, I'm okay with that. We have lots and lots of news the rest of the week, so I don't want to blow my accounts on this. But if you guys haven't already, go join the Discord. There is a link in the chat for that. Hit the like button on your way out. And then if you guys are interested in Top 1 Futures, if you're interested in an instant funded account in general, Top 1 Futures is definitely the best deal available right now, 55% off with code Krista. So go check them out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, you guys. Take care.